We, the jury, find the defendant Travis McMichael guilty. We, the jury, find the defendant Greg McMichael guilty. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty.
Guilty after a 13-day trial. That's the decision from a Brunswick jury for all three men involved in the 2020 killing of Ahmaud Arbery. The judge read the verdicts for each of the three men aloud, starting with the man who pulled the trigger, Travis McMichael.
For Ahmaud has been served.
Respect.
Exactly, you said.
Justice has been served, y'all, in Brunswick, Georgia. Today, the day before Thanksgiving.
I knew Ahmaud's hands was in this from the very beginning.
Amen.
The way Ahmaud left here, I knew that we would get victory on the state level and in the federal level.
Good evening, I'm Connor Ingalls, filling in for Jennifer Abney this week. First at 10, after the jury deliberated for over 3 hours, the family of Ahmaud Arbery claimed today was a victory when the three men convicted of his killing were found guilty on federal hate crime charges related to his death.
Justice for Ahmaud Arbery! Justice for Ahmaud!
2 years since the deadly shooting of Ahmaud Arbery. For his family, too many hours of pain in their fight for justice.
It's very draining, but I look at this as a milestone, as being another milestone another challenge that we've overcome.
2 trials for the men who chased him down, who shot him in the street, and 2 convictions on murder and hate crime charges.
We, the jury, find the defendant Travis McMichael guilty.
Tonight, the man at the center, Ahmaud Arbery, is honored, and a community, state, and nation looks ahead toward change.
Ahmaud Arbery will be in the history books, not only for the state of Georgia, but for the United States of America.
Fox 28 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Connor Ingalls, filling in for Jennifer Abney this week. Today is officially Ahmaud Arbery Day in the state of Georgia. Earlier this month, the State General Assembly passed a resolution to honor him. And today in Brunswick, where Arbery was killed, his father was joined by friends, family, and community leaders to honor his life with a dove release. In Atlanta, his mother broke down into tears during the resolution's reading. To honor her son, she also announced a nonprofit in his name will be.
Breaking news from the Fox 28 newsroom.
Hampton County 911, where's your emergency?
This is Alec Murdoch at 4147 Moselle Road. I need the police to answer immediately. My wife and child just shot badly.
13 months ago, Alec Murdoch made that 911 call in Colleton County, saying that he had found his wife and his son shot and killed. Well, today, South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson, as well as SLED Chief Mark Keel, announced that Alec is being charged with firing the shots that killed the two. A grand jury indicted him today in the murders of Paul and Maggie Murdoch. Now, they were killed, of course, in front of their family estate. Today, we learned how they were killed on June 7th, 2021, but not much more. Now, there are still many unanswered questions in the Murdoch mystery tonight. No details were shared on how SLED linked Murdoch to the crimes that he's accused of. Investigative reporter Ann Emerson has been following this case from the very beginning. She's in Colleton County tonight, where the grand jury met.
We're here at the Colleton County Courthouse, where the grand jury came back in less than an hour with 2 indictments against Alec Murdoch for murdering his wife Maggie and son Paul. Until now, Alec was not a suspect, only a person of interest in the murders. But today, the indictments say Alec killed Maggie with a rifle and killed Paul with a shotgun. He's facing 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of a possession of a deadly weapon during the commission of a violent crime. We were at the county courthouse when one of the lead prosecutors for the state, Creighton Waters, arrived with his team this morning before he met with the grand jury.
Mr. Waters, are you here for the indictments with Alec Murdoch?
Waters has presented all of the 81 charges against Alec Murdaugh so far. Those are state grand jury charges tied to alleged financial crimes by Alec, totaling more than $8 million. Today's murder indictments come from the local grand jury in Colleton County, not the state grand jury. Former South Carolina Attorney General Charlie Condon says that's because the state grand jury has special authority over financial crimes, fraud, and money laundering.
So if you spin off of that to a murder case, you may have a jurisdictional challenge that could occur and could be successful. So why bother with that?
Judge Clifton Newman has been appointed by the Supreme Court to preside over all of the Murdaugh criminal cases. Murdaugh will go before Judge Newman for a bond hearing on these murder charges next Wednesday in Walterboro. Ann Emerson, Fox 28 News at 10.
Now, South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson tweeted out a statement thanking SLED agents today. But now he and his team will need to determine whether Murdaugh will face the death penalty. Today, we did hear from former South Carolina Attorney General Charlie Condon about what goes into those decisions.
He'll look at the background of the defendant, the evidence that they can produce in what's called the penalty phase, and the underlying circumstances of the crime.
The minimum penalty that Murdaugh could face is 30 years in prison with no chance for parole for each murder. Condon says the Attorney General will usually listen to the family of the victims before making a decision. Alec Murdaugh's attorneys, Dick Harpootlian and Jim Griffin, releasing a statement saying, quote, Alec wants his family, friends, and everyone to know that he did not have anything to do with the murders of Maggie and Paul. He loved them more than anything in the world. We are immediately filing a motion for a speedy trial. We are requesting that the Attorney General turn over all evidence within 30 days as required by law, and we demand to have a trial within 60 days of receiving that evidence.
Breaking news from the Fox 28 newsroom.
We are following breaking news out of Chatham County tonight. 22-year-old Leilani Simon will remain in jail tonight as she waits for her bond hearing after police charged her with malice murder and the death of her son. Fox 28's Destiny Wiggins is live outside the Chatham County Jail and has more on these developments. Destiny.
Yes, Jen, 20-month-old Quentin Simon was last seen on October 5th and was reported missing by his mother, Leilani. Chatham County Police Department arrested Leilani this afternoon after they say they found human remains in a waste management landfill this past Friday. Chatham County PD named Leilani as the main suspect in this case several weeks ago, but no arrest had been made until today. Hadley says the human remains they found consist of bones as well as other human evidence. Officials have not yet confirmed the remains belong to Quentin, but the remains have been sent to a testing site in Virginia. Hadley believes those remains will come back to match Quentin's DNA.
On some of the preliminary information that we got from the FBI, we have a high level of confidence that those are Quentin's remains, and we felt that we needed to make the arrest today.
No child should be harmed by anyone, let alone the person in their lives that should be their protector.
Results are expected to be in within a week, and we want to make sure that those remains are not confirmed to be Quentin Simon's. They have to wait until those tests come back to show that DNA. Leilani was also charged with concealing the death of another person, as well as false reporting and providing false statements. Chief Hadley says Leilani has been the primary suspect in this case, and they don't plan to make any other arrest in connection to Quentin's death or disappearance. He says that this case has been very emotional for his department, and as far as Leilani goes, she will remain here at the jail until she waits her bond hearing. I'm live outside of the Chatham County Jail. Destiny Wiggins, back to you, Jen.
Destiny, thank you. Leilani Simon is expected to make her first court appearance tomorrow. So here's what we know right now about the case. The Chatham County toddler was reported missing at 9:39 a.m. on October 5th when his mother called 911. Police said that he was last seen at his home in the 500 block of Buckhalter Road. On October 11th, police say they seized evidence they believe will help the case move forward. Then it was this week when the Chatham County Police Department arrested and charged Leilani with her son's death after they found human remains in a waste management landfill this past Friday. We are continuing our coverage tonight on the case that has gained nationwide attention, the disappearance of 20-month-old Quentin Simon. It's been less than a month since his mother, Leilani, was charged with malice murder and the death of her son. Officials say she was taken into custody on November 21st after human remains were found in a waste management landfill. The FBI later confirming through DNA analysis that those remains did belong to the Chatham County toddler. A Chatham County grand jury indicted Leilani Simon on 19 charges in the murder of her son. And we do want to warn you, some of the details of the indictment are disturbing. Fox 28's Christian Felt was at that news conference where the county district attorney made the announcement. Christian joins us live from outside the courthouse tonight with details. Christian.
The indictment of Leilani Simon charges her with assaulting her son Quentin with an unknown object, causing cruel and excessive pain, ultimately leading to his death. The 8-page indictment lists a charge of malice murder, 2 counts of felony murder, concealing the death of another, and multiple counts of providing false statements.
This is an ongoing criminal investigation. As prosecutors, we are duty bound to preserve the judicial process by not making out-of-court statements about the case and by not releasing evidence in the case.
The indictment alleges Leilani disposed of Quentin's body in a dumpster at the Azalea Mobile Home Plaza on October 5th. The multiple charges of providing false statements stem from Simon allegedly lying about her whereabouts on the night of and the day after Quentin's death, as well as if she was under the influence of controlled substances. Cook Jones says working on cases involving young children has a deep personal impact and will help push her colleagues to help deliver justice. In Savannah, Christian Felt, Fox 28 News at 10.
Candidates from across the U.S. have spent months on the campaign trail, and tonight we'll know the fate of their political future. Voters have packed the polls this evening to cast ballots in many big races. The Senate, House, and governor's seats all up for grabs. And this is actually video of Republican incumbent Governor Brian Kemp heading to a polling station in Clark County as he entered to cast his vote.
We've been running on our record, urging all Georgians to get out there and let their voice be heard today, and like to ask for their vote and support. It's been an honor serving as the governor and the first family, and we're very confident about today and looking forward to the results this evening. So thank you guys for coming.
And as results continue to pour in at the local, state, and federal level, we have a team of live reporters breaking down what you need to know and who's projected to be the winner in many races. Earlier today, voters across Chatham County heading to the polls to cast their ballots. Fox 28 spoke with voters from polling locations around the area about their experience today and what voting means to them. First-time voter Morgan Rogers says she doesn't understand why there isn't 100% voter turnout when the process is so quick and easy.
It was actually my first time voting because I can vote now. But yeah, they were super sweet, taught me what to do. It was super easy, super quick. Yeah, just super smooth process.
Rogers says the outcome of this election will have a lasting impact on the future of the community, and she's certainly not alone in this feeling.
It is imperative that you come and make your voice be heard. You know, it may not seem like a lot right now, but in the future, it will matter.
Precincts across the county reporting a constant flow of voters through their doors earlier this afternoon, but they do expect longer lines to form into the evening. Now to a key race that we've been following since election night. The U.S. Senate seat for the state of Georgia. Incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock says he is the right choice for Georgia as he braces for a runoff election against Republican challenger Herschel Walker. Warnock laid out the stakes for Georgia's senatorial election, saying that Walker, quote, has no vision for our state or for our country.
This is not a race about Democrat and Republican. It's not a race of right versus the left. Fundamentally, this is a race about right and wrong. Who's right for Georgia?
Walker also seemed confident about the chance that the seat could be his. Here's what he had to say on election night.
We're in a fight, are we not? We're in a fight. But hey, God is a good God, is he not? Yeah. And he put us here for a reason. And we're here to win this election, are we not?
State law requires that a candidate receive more than 50% of the vote on Election Day or a runoff election will take place. Warnock will face off against Walker on December 6th. Just into our newsroom now, the Associated Press has called the race for Senator Raphael Warnock at the U.S. Senate race here in Georgia. It has been an extremely tight race all day with slim margins between the two. And we do have a team covering this for you tonight all across the state as those results have been pouring in. Our crews have spent the day at the polls and at the Secretary of State election headquarters checking in with officials about how voting operations have been going today. Hurricane Ian is now tearing through Florida's southwestern coast. On the left of your screen here, a map of where the storm is moving right now. A tropical storm warning, hurricane watch has been issued now for coastal Georgia as well as the South Carolina low country. Remnants of Ian will start to be felt tomorrow night with impacts lasting into Saturday morning.
People who work in the news media are often told to not make themselves part of the story. This is an exception to the rule, though. Take a look at this. Reporter Tony Atkins of WESH 2 News in Orlando, he rescued a woman who was trying to drive through some severe floodwaters. The woman says that she was on her way to work as a nurse when she got stuck. Atkins carried her on his back out of the chest-high water. Final look of the map detailing the path of where Hurricane Ian is moving right about now. By the hour, it continues to move closer to Georgia and South Carolina on the coastline. We'll continue to keep track of it over on Fox28Savannah.com. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night.
We begin tonight with the latest on Tropical Depression Nicole. The storm is hitting Florida with heavy rains and strong winds. The storm made landfall in the state as a Category 1 hurricane early this morning. Now, according to officials, some of the worst damage appears to be along the coast and Volusia County. This is video of multiple beachside homes that have collapsed, some dropping into the Atlantic Ocean. Officials say 2 people have died after being electrocuted by a downed power line in Orange County. Georgia and South Carolina are bracing for possible tornadoes, destructive wind and rain, of course. And as the storm does approach our area, Fox 28 is breaking down everything you need to know. And in just a few minutes, we'll let you know what state and local officials and other organizations are doing to prepare. Alex, thanks. Fox 28's Anna Hughes is continuing our team coverage now of Tropical Depression Nicole. She's also keeping an eye on the impacts here at home. She joins us live tonight in downtown Savannah to tell us what conditions are like outside now and how it compares to earlier in the day. Anna.
Hi, Jen. Yeah, I'm here in downtown Savannah on River Street. The rain is starting to pick up again. It's been in and out during the time that we've been here, but slowed down, picking back up again. The water's pretty choppy and the wind has been steadily picking up as we've been out here. Earlier today, we were out on Tybee Island where we saw some pretty heavy winds. They were picking up as the day progressed, and we saw a bit of rain throughout the day, but nothing too crazy until we got here in downtown Savannah. I spoke with the Coast Guard earlier, and they say they've been tracking the storm for the past week and are urging boaters and other beachgoers to stay away from the water during the storm.
The Coast Guard's main responsibility or primary mission is safety of life at sea, so we urge boaters and mariners to stay off of the water as much as possible, especially with the tornado watches, with the potential for high winds and high wave heights, and not conducive to safe boating.
We saw some people out on the beach earlier, but as those waves picked up and the tide was rising, they started to head out. And as for downtown Savannah now, there's a lot of people out walking around. Actually, I'm not sure if they anticipated this rain to pick up as it did, but we'll just see where it goes throughout the rest of the night. Live in Savannah, Anna Hughes, Fox 28 News at 10.